Once again, as pretty much happens every single year, I had to have a come to Jesus moment with myself, which was, even though it's long, it's a long book, it's also like there's so many parts that like when I read over I'm like, wow, I like absolutely love this, or this is really great. Like it's just like I feel like it's so good. Hello, I'm Liselle Sambury and welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things writing, traditional publishing, and a little bit of reading. And this is the June writing vlog, which it's so wild. I was like, oh yeah, we're like halfway through the year now. And of course this happens every single year where I am shocked somehow at the passage of time. Yeah, here we are in June. Thankfully summer is in like full flow where I live, which again is up north, and so tends to be colder for a lot longer, but it is definitely summer now, which is exciting. And we are also like 2 months away from the release of Mastery of Monsters, which is my YA Dark Academia fantasy, coming out July 29th. So very exciting that we're like getting so close to the book finally being released. I have been like getting some like positive feedback come through from like early readers, which has been really exciting. Just like people tagging me on Instagram and that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm feeling really good. And also, I don't know if I mention it on this channel, and so I want to make sure to mention it. There is a Mastery of Monsters library raffle campaign happening. So this is completely free to enter and it is open internationally. Basically, I'm giving away 100 prize packs. So these prize packs include like a signed book plate, some art prints, I believe 3 art prints to be exact, a sticker and a postcard and a like special bookmark. It's gonna be like have metallic foiling, and I'm gonna do like a charm sort of like velvet ribbon bookmark from it, and I'm giving away 100 of those, and all you have to do is request that your library stock a Mastery of Monsters. So again, completely free to do. In the description, I will have a link to the form, and the form like explains everything in like very clear detail. It explains all of the sort of like things that you have to do. There's also an example of how to request that a library stock a title if you don't really know how to do that. There are kind of like 2 ways, so you can kind of email the library directly, but also if you have the Libby app, sometimes they'll let you request to stock a title, and that's totally fine too. And you can enter multiple times as long as they are different libraries each time. So you can request from as many libraries as you want, enter as many times as you want, if you want to like increase your chances of like hopefully getting a prize pack. And yeah, I have 100 to give away, and right now I think only like I have like maybe 45, maybe 50 entries. So your odds are pretty dang good right now if you enter. And so yeah, this is just something I wanted to do to help support libraries, because I know kind of the hardcover prices for books have been going up and getting more expensive. And I do write for teens, and so it's important to me to like try and get it in as many libraries as possible, so that teens can have access to it if they can't purchase it, because it's pretty pricey and I don't control the price. And so this is kind of something I can do to support libraries and try and like find a way to make it more accessible for people that can't purchase. So that's what I'm doing. So please check that out. And after that, let's talk about what I'm going to be working on in June. So I have, and this is confirmed, I'm sorry for people that have been watching my vlogs and I keep being like, these are probably going to come, these are probably going to come. My editor was like getting busy with different things, and so it took a little bit longer, which I'm totally fine with. Yeah, so I do have the line edits in for the second Mastery of Monsters book. And so I'm going to be working on those for like a month, so for all of June and then like a little bit of July, just because I have kind of like several things to tackle in one. So it's not just like line level, sentence level edits. My editor also pointed out some like bigger things to talk about, and so I have to also do those. I also have my sensitivity reader feedback that I want to put in there as well, and then I also want to like take a really like detailed look at it and a fine-tooth comb and kind of see where I might want to like put in lines or like change things, or you know, just like really get a very good edit in it, because I find that during line editing is when it's easiest for me to make bigger edits. And so I want to make sure that I'm getting all those in at this line level, so that when I go to copy edits, I'm really just scanning for like grammar things and I'm not having to do this like in-depth read through. So that's my plan for the second mastery book. And then I am also still working on the SlugBook. So SlugBook is an adult horror that is about an alternative Toronto in which slugs have become a commodity, and two women who are working together to both kind of avoid, I guess, like escape a serial killer, but also find the serial killer. I really need to pitch that better. I feel like I pitched that better the last time. But anyway, so I am still working on that. Basically what I'm going to be doing in June is planning edits. I don't know that I'm going to get to doing edits in June. I just kind of like blocked off the whole time just to really like plan edits and sort of replot and rejig this whole thing, because when I was working on it I realized that I just like did not plan a lot of stuff well, and so I think I'm just gonna kind of focus on like planning little bit by little bit, because I want to have that mastery book be my priority and my focus. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of a time with the SlugBook stuff, but so far I have read through the entire book again. So that's what I did in this first week of June. I just like went through reading through the whole book and like making notes and that sort of thing. And as is classic for me, it is much better than I thought it was when I'm reading through. I can definitely see the weaknesses and like where it needs a lot of work. And I think it needs more depth. It needs more subplots. I need maybe like to add like 2 to 3 subplots. And I think that will really flesh things out and help things a lot better. And I mean, towards the end, I did sort of start rushing things. And so I need to bring in the sort of slug stuff a little bit more. And I think right now the slugs feel a little bit like window dressing as opposed to feeling more integral to the plot. And I definitely want to do that and like get that together. So that's something I'm also going to be working on. So yeah, that is what I'm going to be working on for the month of June. And I will give you an update, and the next time I update you I will have started online edits as well and kind of started getting my planning in order, and so I can talk to you a little bit more about that then.
But your parents came in the cul-de-sac, leaned back in a leather-clad seat, pack of spirits in your Prada bag. Suburban summer 17 was a roller coaster ride, a manic pixie dream girl right beside me, and she said she liked me, but I bet it was a right thing lining up at the wrong time. And I think maybe if I'd held on tight, she'd still be sitting by my side. I'll never know, I'll never know. I don't like messing with regrets, but I doubt she'd ever leave my head. What could I have done, could I have said? I'll never know, I'll never know. Oh, I'll never know, I'll never know. We were nothing alike, and I kinda like that. Came from different sides of the crosstown tracks. Guess it's true sometimes opposites attract, but it never lasts. So maybe it was just the right thing lining up at the wrong time. And I think maybe if I'd held on tight, she'd still be sitting by my side. I'll never know, I'll never know. I don't like messing with regrets, but I doubt she'd ever leave my head. What could I have done, could I have said? I'll never know, I'll never know. Oh, I'll never know, I'll never know. Oh, I'll never know, I'll never know. She made a country club pool feel like Malibu Beach. Sure, your parents had money, but you liked to drink cheap. Should've known the first moment you're out of my league, but you said you liked me. Oh, I bet it was a right thing lining up at the wrong time. And I think maybe if I'd held on tight, she'd still let me show you, babe. Don't need to play no game. So why'd you say I quit being overthinking about everything? Give it up, tell you what I wanna say right.
Once again, as pretty much happens every single year, I had to have a come to Jesus moment with myself. Which was, again, I got my line edits. I have started in on them, so I like put all the information together and like plot it out, like using Plotter, which is a plotting software that I use. I basically like took all the overarching notes and I broke them down into places in chapters where I need to make those improvements, and I put it in my plotter so that I can both look at the inline edits and also the plotter overarching edits. And then I have one more document that has like inline sensitivity reader comments that I just like, I couldn't make Microsoft Word put the two files together properly. It just wouldn't do it for me. So I have to like look at it. So I'm working with like 3 documents. But anyway, in the process of doing this, I do the line edits for the day. Now I'm supposed to be plotting, replotting for revisions for the SlugBook. Do I do that? No. Because I'm tired from the line edits. And this is when I was like, you cannot do these things at the same time. You just cannot. And I feel like over the years, like there's, I've always disliked working on 2 projects at the exact same period of time. But I feel like, as I've gotten older in particular, I've just become very like, my God, I can't do this. I can't be doing this. And so I realized I can't be doing this. And so what I decided to do instead was to focus on line edits, do a larger amount of line edits. So I was going to do 3 chapters a day, do 4 chapters a day so I can finish line edits a little bit earlier, and then have some dedicated time to do SlugBook revision notes and go into the revision potentially. We'll see how that goes. And do that, and then move on to plotting for the 3rd mastery book. And just condense the time periods when I'm working on one project, do more work in a shorter time period, but on one project, so that I can concentrate on one project each time. Whereas before, my plan was to do a smaller amount of work for 2 projects and do them at the same time. But I think the better strategy is to do more work, shorter amount of time, and then I can concentrate on one project or the other, and like dedicate the whole day to working on it. So that's what I've been doing for the mastery line edits, the 2nd mastery book line edits. So I do 2 chapters in the morning and I do 2 in the afternoon. And that takes up pretty much the whole day, which is why it's wild that I thought I could do like 3 in half the day and still have time and energy for plotting. But anyway, that's me. And I often overestimate the amount of work that I can do and have to shift things around. So that is what I've done. But the mastery edits so far are going well. They are like more, I think, in-depth or involved line edits, but that's not surprising to me because we only did 1 developmental edit on this because it was like in quite good shape. And usually we do 2. And so it kind of feels like this line edit is also like a little bit of like a mini developmental edit. Like it's not enough to be worth doing a completely separate developmental edit, but it is some amount of developmental stuff. So I've been going in there and just like making some little shifts. And it's really with like the main character's internal journey and things like that that need to be shifted. And what was actually really helpful in me realizing this is one of the commenters, the name is not coming to me right now, but you know yourself, talked about this program called Aeon Timeline. And the commenter recommended it to me because I was talking about how I like Plotter, but it doesn't have a good timeline function. And I'm using Notion, but it's also not really like the best. And so what this is it's like a full timeline like building program. I'm sure at some point, once I get used to using it, I'll be able to do like a whole video overview of the program and like how I'm using it, etc. But it's really useful so far for me for the A Mastery of Monsters series because it's a 3-book series on like a very like close-knit timeline, because each book is just a semester. There is Bobo pushing her way in. Because each book is a semester. And so I was finally able to put things on the whole timeline, and just the way that you're able to visually look at it, I could see that the time between the end of the last book and when the first book starts is very short. And I think in my brain, for whatever reason, I thought it was way longer. And so I was having the character react in a way that didn't make sense given how recently that happened, which my editor also pointed out. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was really helpful of the timeline program, because I was like, oh, okay, now I can visually see. Because like to me, once I separated it into semesters, it felt like there was this big block of time in between, but there actually wasn't. And so now I have like a better handle on that. And so I've been shifting kind of some of the main character stuff, a bit of the relationship dynamics I've been shifting a tiny bit. But again, these are really like, they're line level edits, but they are a bit chunkier because they involve kind of character development things, but I think they're coming along well. I've also shifted something again for one of the big side characters, Corey. I wanted to kind of change some of the family dynamic things based on something my sensitivity reader pointed out, which like wasn't like in regards to like the sensitivity representation, was actually just like a story thing that they happened to point out. And I was like, you know what, that actually really resonates with me, which is that character's relationship with her parents. And I feel like I kind of like cut it off, but I don't know that that made sense given how things were put together with the parents. And so I'm just adding some more things to extend that out a little bit and flesh it out and make it a little bit more complicated, dynamic sort of thing. So yeah, it's, the line edits are going well. It's just they take a lot of energy, a lot of time and energy. And so I'm just realizing that I need to work on them exclusively. So I've just been doing a lot of shifting of my schedule and how I kind of lay things out for how I work on projects throughout the year, and I'm just like constantly shifting those. And so what I've started to do is I cut down the plotting time a little bit. I like, for the 3rd book I overestimated. I gave myself like 2 months to plot something, and I was like, I don't need 2 months to plot this, I probably just need 1 month. But we will see. So that's everything that I'm working on and my sort of plans with that. And yeah, I will see you at the end of next week.
On the surface, ain't a James Dean type. We're just cooped up in a cruiser on a Friday night. We could let it ride. Why'd you say I quit being overthinking about everything? Give it up, tell you what, I wanna say right now. Cause I could do the John Hughes kinda or cliche, but either way, I need to say anything.
I'm here to do a update for the writing vlog. Even though it's long, it's a long book. It's also like there's so many parts that like when I read over, I'm like, wow, I like absolutely love this, or this is really great. Like, it's just like I feel like it's so good and I'm so happy and I'm so pleased with it. And I just feel like it's just like an awesome book. I feel like it's such a good sequel, such a good follow-up to the first book, and like also such a good lead into the third book. I just feel like it is doing everything that I want a middle book to do. You know, it's raising the stakes, it's shifting with character dynamics, it's adding different things. I just feel like it's so great. I love this series so much. I feel like this series is just doing fantastic things, and I'm very, very happy with the series and like how it's going forward. So that has been wonderful. I'm very, very happy with that. So as I've gone on, of course, I have added word count as I do. I think probably by the time I finish this draft, it's gonna be like 175,000 words, and a mastery is 157, so like basically 160. So I feel like what I'm planning to do and what I've set aside time to do within my deadline, I've set aside a week to go through and see about cutting, just to try and see if I can at least shave down at least 5,000 words. I think it would be wonderful if I could get it to 160, but in my brain, I'm like, can you reasonably cut 15,000 words without feeling like you cut something that needs to be in there? I don't know. And so, but yeah, I don't think it's something that I will be great at doing while I'm doing line edits and trying to get in all the information I need to get in. So that's why I was like, let me set aside a week, and in that week I can just kind of go through and do as much cutting as possible and like see what I can get it down to. Again, my editor is not making me do this. She never makes me cut anything, honestly, but I would like it if they were a little bit closer in length, the first and the second and the third. I'd like it if they were like more similar. And I mean, I think it is just kind of the nature of a series that like as you go on the books, they do tend to get longer. But I would like to make a concentrated effort to go through and cut down a little bit just to make absolutely sure that everything I have in there is necessary. And so, you know, if I do this cutting exercise and at the end of it, I've like only cut a little bit, then it is what it is, because I don't want to be cutting things that are necessary just for the sake of cutting, but I also want to make 100% sure that everything that I have in there is necessary, and needs to be there. And so I just want to, I have the time, and so I want to just use the time that I have essentially to do some of that cutting. So that's what I'm planning to do now. That is going to push off working on SlugBook a little bit, but I feel like I need the time to make sure that I'm doing that. And I want to do it at line level, because I want to make sure that also my editor has a chance to look at it in case she's like, oh, I wish you hadn't cut that, or I wish you hadn't cut this. Then we can kind of get that ironed out before it goes to copy edits, because I feel like once the copy editor gets involved, it's like more like this should really be just like grammar stuff at this point, and so I don't want to be doing too much at that stage, and so I'd rather do the cutting now. So that is where I am in the process. But in terms of other things, I have officially ordered all the stuff for the A Mastery of Monsters library raffle. So I've ordered all the things. I have all that in place. So I'm just like kind of waiting for things to arrive. And I do need to start like putting together the bookmarks and stuff, because I have to do a lot of this stuff manually, just because of my extraness essentially, because I wanted to have a cute velvet bookmark with like a little bird charm and like a little knife charm, and so I have to do that myself and put it together, but it's fine because I'm only doing 100, though I probably will do closer to like 100. I don't know, I'll probably do 100 for the thing, and then like maybe a little bit of extras, because I'm sure beta readers and stuff will want this as well, and so some extras for them, and then save off and see how things go, because if I have any events that I have planned, then I'll make some extra to bring to those events. And I have ordered like extra of the bookmarks. So I'm giving away 100, but I think I ordered like 200 of them. So I think I ordered double of like the fancy version of the bookmark with like the foiling and stuff. So I ordered a lot of extras of everything just in case I end up having some sort of event coming up in the future, then I can at least bring those for those. I think in terms of launch, I probably won't be doing a launch again. I think it's just like location wise of where I am. I think if we were, you know, relocated by that time, it would be a little bit different. I'd have kind of a local indie or that sort of thing. But I think just as it is now, like the indies, like the closest indie is like 4 hours away. I don't have any sort of relationship with them, versus like the indie that I do have a relationship with are in like Toronto, and I just just financially with like trying to move and relocate and things like that, I don't know that you know, that's where I want to put in financial effort at this point in time. But you know, I'll post things or whatever for the launch and that sort of thing. But there might be events in the future where I want to bring some of that swag and stuff. So you know, I like to have extras, have the ability to make extras at the very least. So there's that. I've also seen the finalized cover art for the second mastery book, and I'm so excited. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful illustration. It's beautiful cover style. The details are so good. The design isn't finalized yet, just because we need to like change the little like tagline. Well, I don't know if this one will have a tagline, but like change and shift some things around in the design sort of bit, just like details wise. But it's pretty well, like it's very close to final, and it just, oh, it looks so good. I'm so happy with it. I think it's gonna look amazing next to the mastery cover, the first book. Just, yeah, just really pleased about it. So that's really great. And as a little submission update, things are moving, things are happening. These are positive things. And I think that's kind of all I can really give at this point in time. And yeah, and I guess when I can chat more about things, I will in the future. If you watched my writing projects update video, I've talked a little bit about having to balance a little bit more kind of how I talk about submission in some ways. And I'll reiterate for that. Mostly just like the understanding that, for example, if I have a book on submission and I don't think things are going well, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't think things are going well, and an editor is watching that, it can create an impression that they might not have had otherwise, not knowing what was happening at all. And I think there is a sort of balance in when I give transparency to you all that are, you know, like sort of following my journey. It is like a wider scope of transparency to sort of everyone as well, that can, you know, potentially affect the process on my end. And so I'm just kind of learning a balance of being able to share some, but also necessarily holding back. So yeah, so that's why, that's all I'm saying about, you know, there's some movement and there's some positive movement. And that's kind of, yeah, all that I'm getting into at this point in time. And yeah, that's about it for this update. And I guess I will check in back with you at the end of next week, which may or may not be the end of the month. I don't know. Time has become a bit of an illusion for me. So maybe it's at the end of the month, maybe it's at a different time, but I will check in with you then.
Time messing my life, swear I don't mind. Say that you'll stay holding me close, swear it's alright. Yeah. Baby, I feel the rush, everything
And here we are at the end of the vlog. But first, before I talk about how writing and everything went, I wanted to share something exciting, which is that final copies of A Mastery of Monsters have shown up. I'm so excited. I'm trying to bring it closer so you can see. It's got like a metallic sheen sort of thing to the paper, which is really cool when you see it in person. And also on the flaps have that same I'm trying to show have that same metallic tone, which is really cool. But yeah, it's here. It's like a real book. Also, I was like, is this the earliest I've ever gotten final copies? I don't know, but I'm super excited to have them because it always makes me happy when I can replace the ARC, the advanced copy that I've had with the final hardcover. That always makes me super excited. So I'm really happy to have it in my hands. Yeah, it's just just so pleased. And then I forgot, oh yeah, I have my little dark academia-esque author photo that I changed and have now, so that's really exciting. But yeah, just super pleased to have the final in my hand. It is beautiful. Yeah, I don't know why I split up the words like that. I got distracted. But yeah, I have it, so that's exciting. I also got all of my physical swag in for my library request campaign. So I've been doing some of the little deluxe bookmarks, which you would have seen in the B-roll. I've been working on putting those together, and yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work to put it together, but I really wanted to do a special edition sort of bookmark for it, so I'm really happy about that. And when all those keychain I don't know, the charms and stuff run out, I do have tassels. So if I have more bookmarks, which I did order more than 100 bookmarks, and they all have the holes in them already, so I also have tassels for the additional ones, so then I can just do the tassels for the rest of the ones that I have. But yeah, just very excited about all the mastery stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're so close to the book being out, which is kind of wild. I'm starting to be like, oh right, I have to post things on social media, and usually I do a little trailer. I don't know, I haven't thought a lot about it yet, and so now I'm I don't know, do I feel like I have the energy to do a trailer? I might just post my picture and leave it at that, but we'll see how I feel as things get further on. Maybe I'll do a trailer I don't know, a month post or something like that, but we'll see how I feel. So that's exciting. And now, second mastery book, line edits. I am nearly done. I'm nearly done. I still have a few days worth. I think I have 2 days worth of line edits, and then I have decided I am going to go forward with trying to cut it down. Ideally, I'd like to cut 250 words from each chapter. That'll get me down 15,000 words, which is wild to think that you can cut just 250 from each chapter and get down 15,000 words. Wild. But yeah, that would get me down 15,000 words, which would get the book to 160, which would bring it very, very close to the length of A Mastery of Monsters. But perhaps more realistically, I'd like to get at least 100 words from each chapter. I just don't want to stay at 175,000 because in my head it makes me feel like the third book will then become 200,000 words, and I just I can't handle it. I can't handle that length, and not just in terms of previously I've been oh, I don't know, worrying about people wanting to read a long book. I'm beyond that. This is about me. This is about the time that I spend working on this book, and when it is so long, it's so much more work for me. And so I'm if I can cut it down, then I'd like to do that. But of course, I don't want to cut to the point where I'm cutting out things that matter to the book. I just want to go through with a fine-tooth comb and be 100% sure that every word in there is necessary. And I've been trying to be like cutting a little bit more as I go, but then I keep having to add words to like explain things based on my editor's comments. So it's easier to go through and do the cut after. So I have 6 days to do that. So there's 60 chapters, so 10 chapters a day, just going through and doing the cutting is kind of my plan. So that's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I'm going to be working on, getting together. So yeah, that's the challenge for the July vlog. And also in July, I'm going to be going back to working on the SlugBook, which is exciting. And I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, just the second book, but the line edits in terms of like how they're going, it's very good. I'm very pleased with the way the edits have gone. I do feel like the internal character things are like being streamlined much better. Also, my amazing editor has also caught my logistical errors, which I've been able to like fix up and things like that. So that's been really good. So I'm really pleased with how the edit is like going through together. I also think at this point in the book, I've hit on all of my sensitivity reader comments too, which have been wonderful and invaluable. And I did have to make some like larger changes with that, but not really like big changes. There was one thing where like a character got a gift, and I just like reading the reader's comments and that sort of thing, like the contents of the gift I shifted and I think were better suited. So yeah, that just meant I had to like, this gift was like a bigger part of the book, so I had to like do a lot of changes for that. But otherwise I'm just like feeling really good. It's such a like wonderful cast of characters. Like I really love them. I think they're so good. And I'm just, yeah, I'm so pleased with how this book has come together. It's also like feeling really real, especially now that I've seen the cover, in conjunction with like working on the line edits and like getting to those like final stages. Like once I get to copy edits, I really start to feel like, oh, like I'm almost done here. Like I'm almost finished doing this. Especially because like, you know, once we finish copy edits, that's what's going to be made into the ARC, the advanced reader copy. And so it like really feels like, oh my gosh, I'm like almost done. But I'm getting so excited about Mastery being out and people like getting to read it on like a wide scope. Which is really great, and like I'm so excited and pleased about that. But yeah, that's kind of it. Otherwise in the background there are some like exciting positive developments, things happening. I can't really get into it, which I always feel bad when I like bring up stuff like that and I'm like, something really exciting is happening but I can't tell you about it. But yeah, something really good and positive and exciting is happening in the background. And so just kind of yeah, I look forward to getting to tell you more about it. I'm not really sure what timeline is going to be on that, but I think maybe sooner than one might expect. Certainly I think what should I ballpark timing for this? I think certainly by the end of summer I feel like I'll be able to share everything about this. And yeah, I feel like the end of summer will be a good timeline. I'm really guessing. I'm totally guessing. But I don't think longer than that. I don't know. I just don't get the impression that it would be longer than that. So anyway, on that very vague note, I guess we will be flowing into the July vlog. Like I said, I'm going to be working on finishing up these line edits and getting into editing on the SlugBook. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to jumping back into that and kind of switching gears. I am really trying hard to stick to my thing of like working on one project at a time. So that's really exciting about just like getting to hone in and just focus. So yeah, just super pleased about that. I'm starting to feel the anxiety of, oh my God, summer is ending. I'm like not ready for summer to end. And I know it's not ending. I know it's really like just beginning, but it takes so long for summer to start here that I feel like I always feel like it's like slipping through my fingers. But anyway, that's enough rambling. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.